Good now? There you go. Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes I just have to unplug it and plug it back in. I don't know why it does that. It's got to be a TikTok studio thing. It wouldn't possibly be me. It could not possibly be me. I would not make a mistake like that. I rarely make like technical mistakes. That's just not who I am. It's not who I want to be. What's up, Donnie Wahlberg? Come on. Donnie Wahlberg? Not you, Jay? Yeah, it's me. Hey, everybody. Happy Halloween. I didn't do a costume. I'm sorry. I I got a Jen's like you should wear a costume. I don't. Do you guys do? Are any of you in costume right now? Raise your hand if you're currently in costume. Let me pull up Cash App and Venmo. Jen made me change the live goal to 200, so I made it 269 cents. So just so you know, I kept it immature. No, no. Yeah, there's a good amount of you are in costume. Thank you, Veronica, for that donation this morning. Appreciate it. I didn't see a message there, so I assume it was message free, but thank you. Let me hop over there. Perfect. I don't even know, like, we don't even have really trick-or-treaters. Like, I don't get trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood. I bought a bunch of candy, and I just buy whatever I like because I know it's gonna be me that winds up eating it anyways. Too old to put an effort into that. Yeah, I don't know. I say I'm a fisherman, that works. See, Rose mad. I told you some people were gonna be mad. Some people aren't gonna be happy about it. Much no, listen, I had the weirdest morning ever. So last night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up to bright lights coming through my window and fire trucks all up and down my street, four of them. So I went outside. My neighbor's house caught on fire, I think. I don't know all my neighbors. I don't know exactly who the people were that were outside, but there were people outside, and the fire department was there until like I don't know 5:30 or 6 as the sun started coming up. Then they're like, "We got to get out of here." So I haven't slept, but it's a better morning. I'm dressed as a nurse because I'm a nurse. Can you dress up like? Can you dress up as a nurse like on Halloween? Can you do that? That would really fuck you up if you went to the hospital and like your nurse is just in a like let's say you took too many candies, edible candies, and you show up at the emergency room and then your doctor's just like in a horse costume. That could really mess with you. That could be really tough. What is that? Sad to see people voting blue when they support. Like that's good. Somebody in there that's like, how could you vote blue when they abuse children? Good question. Thank you for leading us into this. You helped us get right into the first story of the day. I appreciate it. You guys ever heard of Ryan Fournier? This is Ryan Fournier. He's got that nice, crisp white nationalist haircut. He runs the North Carolina-based Students for Trump. He's facing misdemeanor charges for what? He was charged with domestic assault on a female and assault with a deadly weapon. Posted bond later the evening and waived his right to an assigned attorney. Apparently, Fournier was arrested in Johnston County last Tuesday and accused of assaulting his girlfriend by grabbing her right arm and striking her in the forehead with a handgun. What did I say? A female what? What did I say? Domestic assault on a female and assault with a deadly weapon. I don't know what I said. Maybe I messed it up there. Sorry, my brain. Yeah, but like it's us, right? It's us, Republicans. We're the problems. Students for Trump, Ryan Fournier. If you like, you ever go to he's big on Twitter. He's consistently putting out misinformation. Yeah, Ryan, I did. Thank you for clipping that yesterday. I appreciate it. I did like it. Thank you. Who's Chip? Is Chip the one that said that? Is that who was? Chip, you can come up and talk about it if you'd like. I don't know how long you'll last. You can't be a Christian and vote Democrat. Oh, Chip. Oh, Chip, you sweet, sweet soul. This like, yeah, if you're like a MAGA Christian, you can't vote Democrat. If you fuck it, I'm gonna find this clip. Actually, I'm just gonna play it. Chip, I swear to God, Chip's not a plant, but Chip just reminded me that I saved something yesterday on YouTube, and I forgot all about it. I was going to show it for today's show anyway, so this works out perfectly. All right. Let's do
Truly
this.
I say unto you, whoever welcomes one of these little ones in my name,
There you go,
truly
Chip.
I say unto you, whoever welcomes one of these little ones in my name might be letting in a murderer or a drug. Let's get her to a detention center, so we can figure out what's going on.
GOP Jesus.
I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. And behold, now I'm all lazy and entitled. You shouldn't have done that. Do unto others as you suspect they might want to do unto you. What is a man profited if he gain the whole world but lose his soul? A lot. He has profited a lot. One soul for the whole world, that is an amazing deal. Why do you look at the speck of dust in your brother's eye, but ignore the plank in your own? Because of her emails. Yes. If a man strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him and shoot him. That is the law. If you want to be perfect, go. Sell all the possessions that you have and give the money to a solid mutual fund. By this, they will know that you are my disciples. That you say, Merry Christmas! Christ! Christmas! That's my name in there, and I put it in there because I wanted it in there so we can all celebrate Big Boy Jesus' birthday time! Okay? Okay.
Rabbi, surely you can heal me.
My child, of course I could. But who would pay for it?
What? I don't understand. I don't have any money.
Yes, it is a sad story, but it does not make me responsible. It is super duper easy for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. The richer the better, really. Maybe get a solid gold house, just to be sure. Love your neighbor as yourself. Unless you are better than your neighbor, then tell them that they're weird. And you do not want to bake them a cake. You have heard it said, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say to you, any man who looks upon a woman with lust in his heart should go ahead and do what he's got to do.
Lord, your followers grow hungry, and we have only this fish and bread.
Oh, sweet.
Did you see that? I don't know if you could read that. You have a clever way of rejecting God's law in order to uphold your own teaching. Regular Jesus, like real Jesus, is the one that said that. There you can go. You can find it. That's Friend Dog Studios. I found this. Yeah, Friend Dog Studios right there. Let's click on it so we can give them credit.
From the producers of
You can
Cult
find
Horror
them
Classic
on
26.
YouTube. But Friend Dog Studios is who made that. Thanks, Chip. I've forgotten all about that video, but Chip came through for us. Chip came in talking about Christianity and reminded me that Jesus wouldn't recognize any of you as his followers. He'd be like, "What? How the fuck did you guys mess this up? How are we? You guys are chanting for mass deportations, the Christians? That's what you guys are doing? Great news, guys. Sal's here this morning. So is Grammar Hole. Grammar Hole says, you're a fucking rock star. Thank you. Sal says, now I'm fantasizing you in a nurse outfit and me as your patient. I'm not in a nurse outfit in that scenario. I was in a horse outfit, and you'll do something weird with that. Sal says, wish you'd strike me on both cheeks. God damn it. Sal likes a little bit of abuse. All right. Happy Halloween. All right, so look, here's the truth. This is not a well put together show today. I didn't sleep last night. I went to bed early so that I could wake up this morning and get everything prepped, and then none of that happened. None of that. Yeah, congratulations, Dodgers, by the way. Well done. It's terrific. It's just The cool thing about baseball, especially this year's World Series, is it really shows how much you can accomplish with unlimited money. You have the Yankees and the West Yankees. Then as long as your ownership group has so much money that you can outspend everybody else, you too can win a World Series. So congratulations to the Dodgers. I think that's terrific for you guys. All right. Okay. So the story yesterday obviously is Trump for whatever reason. Like, Biden says that MAGA people are garbage. MAGA is garbage. I'm sure some of you are very fine people. There's very fine people on both sides. We know that. But your ideology is absolute dog shit. And so Trump, rather than going out and doing something useful, he for some reason brought a trash truck to an airport, which doesn't make any sense. Like, and then they're just like, what are we going to do with this trash truck? Well, we're going to have Trump wear a yellow vest. And then they're going to drive in circles on the tarmac, just small circles on the tarmac, and to own the libs. That's what Republicans did yesterday. They brought a trash truck to a airport and drove in small circles at like 8 miles per hour. That's what your guy did. Here's the full clip of Trump trying to be a badass. And then look, if this was, I'll just say this. I really don't want to like make fun of people for being old, because I'll be old one day and then people will make fun of me. But he is a piece of shit, so I don't feel as bad. If this was Biden, this is all we would. My guest box would be full. There would be 87 people in the guest box this morning if this had been Joe Biden when he was running. But since it's Trump, they'll figure out a way. But the confidence of this man to then just fuck it up, and he knows at the time, he knows he fucked this up. Trump's not having a good morning this morning. He's being mocked relentlessly across the internet. But here it is.
250 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is.
He just said 250 million people. There's 350 million people in this country. 250 did not vote for Donald Trump. I don't know where he's coming up with that number. But like, even in this moment, he figures out a way to have the most. This is the dumbest lie. 250 million. Yeah, sorry, it's really quiet.
But we won't say that.
Let me see if I can make it a little louder.
250 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that.
All right, now he's gonna get in this trash truck. Where's the door, sir? There it is. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, there we go. Look how long it takes him to get in, too. He just whiffed on the door. It's fine. Whoop. He wasn't close. Look how far he misses this door handle by. He misses the door handle by that much. Just fucking swing and miss. It's not like it was windy. It's not like the door was moving around. He just whiffed. And this is devastating to him. If that happened, listen, we've all probably done something dumb like that, but it's devastating when it happens to him because he's such a strong man. You know, he can walk up and down ramps. He can do all that stuff. Did he really brag about it? What did he brag about? Tell me he didn't really brag about this. Did I miss that?
All right, guys, pull camera.
Pull camera. We got to get out of the way. So Trump can. So then he just drives in these little circles. It's so weird. He goes into a rally. He speaks after, and he gives Kamala Harris an ad. He's just like, "Hey, are you guys having a hard time figuring out what ads to run? I've got it for you. Here you go. Here's an ad for Kamala Harris. You don't even have to edit it, really."
They said, "Sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say." I said, "Well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. 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 I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not." They said, "Sir."
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. don't say as a man in front of other people, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. He's already got a problem with women. There are a lot of interesting polls out there, specifically the polls of people who have already voted. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I didn't add it to the flow, but I did want to bring this up. Actually, I think I might have saved it. Give me one sec. This is what happens when I'm not organized. I'm pretty sure I saved it. Yeah, this is the graphic. All right, look at this graphic. This is from a CNN poll, but it's from people who have already voted. So in Michigan, of all the people that have voted, 61% are saying that they voted for Harris, 35% for Trump, 60% in Wisconsin, 57% in Pennsylvania. Trump hasn't topped 40% in any of those yet. Now, obviously, Democrats do a good job with early voting, but this is a problem. And we're finding out that Trump's problem with women is worse than we thought. Like he's probably going to get less than 40% of the woman vote in this country, and that's over. If those numbers hold, if any of these numbers hold, it's a landslide. Like it's not close. Not close. Trump's numbers were 10 to 15 in 2020. No, they weren't. No, they were. In some states, they could have been 10 to 15. What are you talking about? Voting at this particular stage? It like on Halloween, he was at 10 to 15. Like if you look at total voter registration, the truth is, way more people are going to vote by mail or early vote this year. That's how it's going to be, unless all of a sudden we're going to have like 70% of our population voting. But that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like is that. And Trump's team. I live in a swing state. I get mailers all the time. The people I bought the house from were big like Trump boosters, and so I always get mailers, Trump mailers from them. And it's every mailer is like, make sure you vote early. Here's how you early vote every time. Oh wait, blocking Tex again. Tex got blocked again. Sorry, Tex. If Jen gets tired of you, Tex, that's just the way that it goes. Is that who I was talking to? Is that who was whatever his name? It was Chip Tex. Yeah, Chip was Tex. Remember when he told us yesterday that he only had 3 accounts? He has a new account every day. And listen, here's one thing you'll learn, Tex, if you're still here on a different account listening. Jen figures shit out. You never want to be in a scenario where you're trying to keep something from Jen. She'll find out. And she'll make it her life's work. Like, you don't understand the level of petty that Jen has. If Jen wants to find something out about you, she will put her life on hold to find that out about you, and she will destroy you. It's you don't fuck with. That's the only reason Jen's still here. I'm just terrified of her. She doesn't even want to do it. I'm just scared of her, so I keep begging her to stay, and then she does it, and eventually she'll leave, and then I don't know. Then I guess my career's over. See how that goes. All right, let me get back to the me too, Jen. Let me check comments real quick. We may just wind up like hanging out today. I'm probably gonna jump on a live later too. After I'm gonna go trick or treating with my daughter for like an hour or so, and then she's going with her mom to a house party. So I'm gonna probably be live later. I'm gonna try and be live every night up until the election. So if any of you have any ideas of places to go live, where let me know. Or if there's any creators in here that are gonna go live tonight and you want a guest, let me know. I'd be happy to jump on. Maybe I'll even figure out a costume for tonight. Maybe I'll do that. Ryan says, found out my parents have HBO and challenged them to watch Stopping the Steal and 4 Hours at the Capitol. Can't wait for their reviews. They are obviously for Trump and MAGA misbehave. They are obviously to Trump and MAGA misbehavior. I'm not sure what that last part meant, but I love that. My dad texted me the other day. We haven't talked in a long time. And he's like, the last time we talked, I was like, hey, we can't really have a relationship if I'm not allowed to talk about the things that I believe in. So he sent me a message. He's like, have you been to check to see if I'd been like watching BYU football, which I've kind of followed. There's this weird thing with BYU. They used to not be great at sports, and now they're getting all these massive recruits because of NIL, and there's all these rich Mormons that are buying players. And they also got rid of the honor code, so you can't tattle on other BYU players if they have sex, or if they drink coffee, or if they smoke weed. You can't tattle on them anymore, which used to be a real problem. And so I was like, no, I've been busy trying to make sure this scumbag doesn't get back in office, and now I haven't heard from them. You meant to say oblivious. Yeah, oblivious is the right one. Renee says, help with security for Sal and those feet pics. I feel like Sal's harmless. I do feel like Sal's harmless. Relentless and harmless. Can you be both? Yeah, sorry, Chip. I just saw the screenshot of you being blocked. All right. Then Tim Walz decides to get in on the fun. I'm making fun of Trump while also reminding us that Trump doesn't know what a tariff is. I don't know if the Republicans are here yet, but if any Republican wants to come up and explain to us why Trump doesn't know what a tariff is, I'm still waiting for an answer. It's been like a week now. I've asked all of you, everybody I've talked to, why doesn't he know what a tariff is? And none of you seem to have an answer to that. Collab with Pickles? Yeah, right. I saw Felice was on there for like 24 hours yesterday. Pickles keeps you hostage.
Your family. Now look,
I love
this dude's nearly 80 years old. He damn near killed himself getting into a garbage truck. You would think over 80 years you would understand how a tariff works. Smarter people than Donald Trump, which is a good chunk of folks, CEOs of companies like Black & Decker, AutoZone, and Columbia have gone on the record to say if Donald Trump goes forward with this plan, they will simply have to raise prices and pass it on to you. Donald Trump saying China will pay for those tariffs the same way Mexico paid for the wall. It's not going to happen. So look, your family. Now
he's so good. He's so good. I think it's a good reminder that people like enter politics and they want to be like good politicians, and they learn how, like JD Vance, they learn how to be politicians, and that works. Or you can go the Tim Walz way and you can just be like, I'm just going to be a regular ass person. I'm just going to stay normal. And I'm going to say what comes to my mind. And I'm going to try my best to listen to the people that I serve. And I'm just going to be normal. Those are kind of your two options. All right. Well, who's here? Corbin. What's up, Corbin? Corbin's here to tell us why Trump doesn't know what tariffs are.
How you doing? How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
You know you guys are going down this week.
The Niners?
Yeah, you guys are going to lose to the bye week this week. They're going to get outscored by the team called bye week. They're going to take you out, yeah. Are you gonna buy Bosa's MAGA hat? Are you gonna buy one of those so you can match your boy?
Yeah, it's on its way already.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Yeah, and we're both just gonna not answer any questions if somebody asks us about it. We're just gonna be like, listen, I'm just here to wear the hat. I'm not answering questions.
Perfect. Guys, let's get RTP to 5,000 stars, please. He's the man, the whatever, the legend. Yeah, give him some razzle dazzle here, guys.
Show the big screen there. There you go.
I don't even know where I found this picture.
I don't know either, but I appreciated it today. Thank you.
I think I just Googled white guy and I just cropped it. Just to kind of, yeah.
All right, you've had enough time. Get out of here. Not friendly Friday. I did see some people jump in when it sounds like we're doing friendlies. We're not. Cam is an exception because he makes fun of me. I see Rue and Leanne there, just making sure we're just opposition. If you're not, hop out of the box. Rue, what's up? Googled wine guys diabolical. What's up, Rue? Rooted doop. All right, no Rue. Roux is what you like if you're making like if you're making I don't know, like Southern food. If you're making like a jambalaya, you gotta have a good roux. Did you guys know that? Do you know about roux? I can make fun of you. No, Brett, you're sweet. Don't let Brett's appearance fool any of you. Brett is too sweet. I know how to make a good jambalaya. Listen, about 3 years ago, when I first moved out on my own. I bought a, what do you call those things? not a crock pot, Dutch oven, one of those ceramic, and I just learned how to make all that stuff. And I would just every day I would wake up and go to the grocery store and I would just like make or get ingredients for soup. I just made soup every day for like 3 weeks. It was a pretty like at the now I realize that was called depression. But at the time I was like, I think I'm just really into making soup. I hope that the soup it's got to take like 4 hours to make it. And then it's got to cook for like 3 hours. And I realize now I was just depressed, but it was a great way. It was an unbelievable. I would make soup and listen to CoffeeZilla. That's what that was every day. Let me update the goal here. I have to do some math. 18. Math is so stupid. There we go. All right. Anytime I say I need to update the live goal, just so you know, that means that Jen has messaged me saying, update the goal. That's what it works here. So what's the point? I'm going to keep the 6.9. Like that 0.69 is not accurate, but I'm going to keep it there forever. Oh, so I'm depressed. You might be. Yeah. If you find yourself waking up every day, making soup and listening to CoffeeZilla, yeah, you might be depressed. That's possible. That's what it looked like for me. I'm not an expert on any of that. Here's another video I found today that I found hilarious. This video is titled, "If JFK Spoke Like Donald Trump," and we're going to watch it.
But if I'm sitting down and that boat is going down and I'm on top of a battery and the water starts flooding in, I'm getting concerned. But then I look 10 yards to my left and there's a shark over there. So I have a choice of electrocution or shark. You know what? I'm going to take electrocution. Oh, and I hate Taylor Swift.
I just want to point out, this was one of like the most popular presidents of all time. And this is what you should do when a politician speaks that you really like. You should just clap. You should just clap. That's it. That's the whole thing. Hey, yeah, we liked that. It should not be screaming. You should not at any point extend. I about did it. Holy shit, I about did it. You should not extend your arm out in any sort of salute. I almost did that. I would have been clipped to death on that. That would have been terrible. I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm learning. My first thought, it was like I was putting it out, and then I'm like, M. Scott in Discord. M. Scott will end me in Discord if I do that. I will, within 5 minutes, I will have. Don't tell me I'm muted. I will have a smaller mustache and I will have a hand extended. So see, Brett. What Brett? I don't know, Brett. I don't know what Brett's talking about there. Runs to Discord. All right. Then I wanted to show you this. This is a TikToker named Dean Huertas. Does anybody know Dean Huertas? Haven't seen this creator before. I find all TikTok creators, I find them on Twitter. But this is Dean Huertas, and he's fact checking a video about Puerto Rico. So obviously Trump, there's the joke at Trump's rally about Puerto Rico. He hasn't been kind to Puerto Rico. He doesn't like Puerto Rico. And somebody made a video showing, oh, well, it really is trash. And yes, this man, Dean Huertas, is Puerto Rican. You can see it on his flag there. But he made this video just fact checking.
It's messy and it's more than just trash. Puerto Rico is drowning in garbage. Overflowing landfills are a daily sight, and it's not just an eyesore. It's a health hazard. The current administration poured billions of dollars into fixing this crisis.
That stutter shock footage is from the Carpathians of Ukraine, filmed by this photographer, not Puerto Rico.
Corruption runs deep, leading to multiple...
We don't drive trucks like these in Puerto Rico. And if you look at this box right here in that same image, it's not Spanish. That language is Khmer, spoken in Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Further proof that this video wasn't in Puerto Rico either.
Arrests. Local officials who were supposed to manage relief funds were caught red-handed.
PNP.
Imagine the impact on ordinary citizens.
This is also stutter shock footage filmed by this photographer. This is actually from the town called Nyangong in the country of Myanmar, not Puerto Rico.
Communities are left to deal with the toxic fallout.
This is a package directly from China. Due to the Jones Act with Puerto Rico, we're not allowed to receive goods directly from other countries. Anything that gets shipped to Puerto Rico has to get shipped to the United States first, then has to get repackaged, reboxed with the American approval, then shipped to Puerto Rico. So this wasn't...
Did you guys know? I didn't know that. I that was one thing I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, there's this there's this feeling that you have like when you're conservative, that at least I had, that Puerto Rico should just be thankful that we protect them, and that they should just like they should shut up and just be thankful for all the things that we've given them. Their life is made significantly harder due to the United States. Yeah, like I agree that protection's nice. They also serve in the military, but like that is kind of the sentiment among conservatives. And then you look at like this stuff. They can't even get their own mail. It's like they're in jail. Like if you get a package and you're in jail, it has to go through screening first. Imagine if all of your packaging, everything that you ever get in the mail, if the American government was going through it first and repackaging it. I would probably order less things through the mail. But that's pretty wild. I did not know that.
In Puerto Rico either.
It's time for accountability.
The creator is Dean Huertas, DEAN. So at Dean Huertas, at DEANHUERTAS. I saw somebody say he had stepped away from the app for a little bit, and then he's back, and that they love his content. I haven't seen it before, but I loved this.
To Puerto Rico.
Thank you,
so
Jennifer.
This wasn't in Puerto Rico either.
It's time for accountability and real change.
That's the flag of Nigeria. The guy who made this video wanted to let it be known he's from Florida. His profile picture is nothing but USA military jets, and his content is consistent of AI-generated videos, prying on conspiracy theories. I can guarantee you he's not Puerto Rican at all, and he just wanted attention. And guess what? He's gonna get it. Robert Kerner lives in South Florida, most likely in the Fort Lauderdale or Hollywood area. Spends a lot of time fishing, and white man. Who would have thought? Robbie, if you don't want any more information of you released, do me a favor and take down that video. I see you spend a lot of time in the water, and I would absolutely hate for some island trash to destroy that.
He fucked that fish for sure. There's no question. There's no question in my mind that that's what he did with that fish. I feel bad saying that, but it happened. Sal says, fuck. God damn it. Sal says, hey, you missed my previous comment. I did? What did I miss? There'd definitely be a horse when you're in your nurse's outfit. All right. All right, Sal. Get it together. Goddamn lunatic. Cameron says, I feel bad you're a sweepy baby boy today, but I'm really enjoying the vibes. Thank you. Maybe I should be sleep deprived more. I mean, when I'm sleep deprived, I'm petty. That's who I become. Maybe that's who I'm going to become after the election. I might just like turn this into just like a petty show every morning, especially if Trump wins. Like, I don't know. If Trump wins, it's honestly like probably a good thing for content creators on our side. But I'm so fucking exhausted that I'll probably just turn petty and bitter. I don't know how much longer I can hold off pretending that like this isn't just an insane cult. Like I'm trying to be on my best behavior, and when he loses, be like, all right, guys, we're gonna try and help ease you back into society. But I don't know if that can happen. I have no idea. And then just a reminder here. This is I believe this might have been Kimmel as well. Let's see. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel put this video. This is 7 minutes long. It's 7 minutes of petty. This is just 7 minutes from Jimmy Kimmel just reminding us that Donald Trump never, ever, ever follows through on anything that he claims he's going to do. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Spirit and astrology say Harris wins. Astrology says Harris wins? Fuck. I gotta tell you, I'm not like an astrology person, but and I'm still skeptical because while I was being catfished, the person catfishing me was also into astrology, and then I got a little more into that to try and understand it, and I got some readings, and they were really fucking accurate, and I'm like, uh-oh. But now I look back on it, and I was like, okay, well, those were accurate, but also at the same time I was being catfished, so maybe I don't have the correct level of skepticism when it comes to horoscopes and astrology. But anyways, here's 7 minutes of Donald Trump promising things that he never delivers.
But to absolutely replace Obamacare, and we're going to come up with a much better plan. We're going to come up with a great health plan. And
I just want to point out real quick, one, shout out Ozempic. Good job, Ozempic. And two, remember when this guy used to be able to speak in full sentences without slurring?
this is a great plan. Wait till you see the plans we have coming out literally
over the next 4 weeks. We have a plan coming out, an additional plan coming out in a very short period of time. We're going to have fantastic health care, and the plan is coming out over the next 4 weeks. We're signing a health care plan within 2 weeks.
9 years after you first...
I know it's small, but up in the left corner, you'll see dates. There's consistently dates. Like, just look how many times he's lying. Like, we went from 2016, we're now in 2024. Saying the same, making that same promise. It'll be out here in a couple weeks.
Started running. Do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. We already have the concept of the plan, and it'll be much better health care. What the plan is? Yeah, well, we'll be announcing that in about 2 months.
Can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. You know, I was somebody, we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about,
we played this yesterday.
Because, look, childcare is childcare. There's something, you have to have it. Your child goes to school.
Childcare is childcare. Childcare is... You have, while you are out with your mistress, your wife takes care of the child. And if you want additional children, you get a new wife and you have a child with that wife. And then again, mistress, and then a new wife, and then a child with that wife. That's childcare, is just keep getting wives every time you want a child. That's childcare. Childcare is childcare. That's self-explanatory.
And they don't even call you. And they change the sex of your child. Perform sex change operation and send them back home. Make the boy into a girl and not tell the parents. Your boy leaves the school, comes back a girl. It was a he.
No way. And there's somebody named MAGA Lover in the, there's no way. I have to take it. This might just be Cam again. There's no way this is real. Sorry. MAGA Lover. Or is that Louvre?
Hey. I just want to say everything that Trump says about going to school and coming back different is true. I sent my boy to school.
Jen wasn't having it. That was going to be good, though. I don't know.
And comes back a she. You say, Jimmy, I love you so much. Go have a good day in school. And your son comes back with a brutal operation. And off.
Why is this, guys? Why is this still in existence? I just want to know. How does that not end? You shouldn't talk to that person anymore. If any of my friends were saying this to me, I'd be like, I can't talk to you anymore. I don't think we can be friends anymore. You can't say, that's insane. You can't just say that. You can't just say that kids are going to school and being operated on and coming home and like, son, where's your penis? Where is it? Where did your penis? That's disqualifying from being friends. You shouldn't vote for that person. Have I covered the garbage truck yet? Yeah, I did. I covered the garbage truck.
Often without parental consent. Can you even believe we're saying this? The windmills, they don't work. They're rusting and rotting. They're making a lot of noise. I could hear it for 2 miles away. They're destroying the country. If you want to see a lot
Brett
of dead birds, go to a windmill and just look underneath. You see birds all over the place. It looks like a bird cemetery.
They're killing the bald eagle and other eagles.
And then they kill all the whales, right? They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty. And they say the noise causes cancer. You tell me that. Wow.
They don't say that. You say that. That's you. You're saying that. There's not other people saying that, except for somehow Joe Rogan kind of like agreed with it. Oh, that's Yo Fat Daddy.
Oh, wow. The wind is bullshit. But if I'm sitting down and that boat's going down and I'm on top of a battery and the water starts flooding in, I'm getting concerned. But then I look 10 yards to my left and there's a shark over there. So I have a choice of electrocution or shark. You know what I'm going to take? Electrocution. I will take electrocution every single time. I
would take shark, I think. I've thought a lot about this. What would you guys take? Look, I'm not saying it's a bad take. I think I would take shark. Either way is horrific. Dying either of those ways is horrific, but shark's kind of cooler, right? Like at least you get to see the inside of the shark for a minute, before it's over. I might do shark. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's Sal offering? Sharks, you love sharks? Haley says, picnic time. You be the hot dog, I'll be the bun. All right, Haley. Haley's back. Okay. Welcome back, Haley. You've been missed. It's terrific. Michelle says, how about them Dodgers? Can you sports talk for a sec about it? I did. You missed it already, but just for you, Michelle, I think that the Dodgers winning the title shows that if you are filthy fucking rich and can afford to buy all the best players, you might have a chance at beating the Yankees. And that's what we learned. That's what we learned. Two teams who completely bought their teams because there's no salary cap played the World Series together. And it's the first World Series I haven't watched, but I think mostly just because of the election.
You agree? Hello, everyone. I have something incredible to share today. We are announcing the launch of Trump Coins. It's a really beautiful coffee table book. I'm doing my first official Donald J. Trump NFT collection right here and right now. My new book, Save America, is now available for order. By popular demand, I'm doing a new series of Trump digital trading cards. These cards show me dancing and even me holding some Bitcoins. That's the real deal.
He's holding some Bitcoins. He doesn't know what Bitcoin is either. He thinks this is him holding some Bitcoins. Welcome, RTP's Sister Wife Club. It's great to have you here. We've got a Sister Wife Club now, if you would like to join it. He doesn't know. He just doesn't know what This is like the blooper reel that you run of like a third-party candidate who got no votes. But then you find out about it and you're like, oh, well, no wonder they didn't get any votes. This is what they were running on, except for he's won the Republican nomination. He's been president before. Like any other election, all of this is disqualifying. You're like, why the fuck? But
that's the real deal.
That's the real deal.
That's the real deal. My last two Trump digital trading card collections sold out in just hours. And now I'm back with my latest series called the Mugshot Edition. Here it is. If you want to go out and get it, you can go out and get it. Have fun with it. My new Trump.
What does that mean? What do you guys think that means? What kind of fun do you think they had with that shirt? I'm going to imagine that shirt has been used as a receptacle, a wiping tool, if you must. That T-shirt has been used to wipe the human remains off of the back of unsatisfied Republican women all over this country. I think that's what it's been used for most. It's just, I got it. We'll bring Trump into this. Jimmy says, I'll be your shark. I'll gobble you real deep. My God. What the fuck? All right, Jimmy. Sal says, I've got a shark you could be inside of. I don't even get that one. What is that? I don't know. I don't even know what that one means, Sal. All right, let's get back to, here's these watches.
Watches. That's a lot of diamonds. I love gold. I love diamonds. We all do. I think you all should get a copy of God Bless the USA Bible. Let's make America pray again. God bless you, and God bless the USA.
You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. And you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are, and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal. So I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
I think this was actually peak Trump hair. This was, I think, 2016 before he got the. I think this is peak Trump hair. This was the best his hair ever was. It's blonde. Do you notice that his skin color is fucking normal? Like it's a normal human being's skin color. It's not bright orange. Like just watching this video, I think we should realize like how far this guy has gone, like down the insane route. This is not a person who, like, at this point you're like, this guy's just a scumbag, and now you're like, oh, he's lost it. He's a scumbag who's lost his mind. Like, that's a normal color.
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal.
When you said, it's gone viral, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, you say you're just reporting what had been said. But why not say now, well, look, that turned out not to be true.
I don't know if it's not true. I don't know if it's true or not true. I read
Eating
something.
the pets, you don't know if it's true or not true? No. It's been debunked by local officials.
What about the geese? What about the geese? What happened there? They were all missing.
There was one guy with two geese.
By the way, what happened with the geese, is there was a guy that was removing a dead goose, and they took a picture of it and called him a Haitian in Springfield, and he was in Columbus and was not a Haitian. That's what actually happened. Kathy says 2 old ladies were sitting on a park bench. An old man in a trench coat flashed them. One lady immediately had a stroke. The other couldn't reach. All right. Okay. Where do you guys get this shit? Where do you even, like, honestly, where do you come up with this stuff? It's crazy. Where do you come up with this? I read that 3 days ago. I don't remember it. My memory's so bad.
I have no idea. That's a story that was reported, and I said that. Why don't you go after the newspaper that wrote it? Don't blame me.
Well, I think it's been debunked by local officials.
I don't think it's been debunked at all. I think nobody talks about it except you. If I lose, I'll tell you what's possible, because they cheat. That's the only way we're going to lose. They don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. They're trying to rig the vote.
All right, so I'm going to end it there because that sends us in. There's still like 2 more minutes, but we get the point. Republicans saying they're going to cheat is just them saying we're about to cheat. And let me give you some examples of that. First, we have Jim Jordan. This is Jim Jordan speaking yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Might have been the day before. He's on News Nation, which is that like news place where what's his name? Cuomo is. Like, anybody who's been canceled on left-wing news, you can go to News Nation now and still pretend you're liberal, even though like they're all just they know who their audience is. Their audience is they're trying to capture Fox News people.
Ultimately, look, there's a reason. I'm going to read this to you. There's a recent poll out. It says 69% of Americans don't agree on anything in politics these days. 69% of Americans don't think Trump will concede if he loses.
Well, I think if I've saw the same polling, I think there's a whole bunch of Democrats who said the same way the other way. If it's the other way around, so I think there's a concern there. But this is just
no. I checked. Nope, it's not true. It's just not true. I don't know what poll he's talking about.
A problem we have right now in our country, and I think it's a lack of trust for institutions. Frankly, a lack of trust in people in the government. It's a slightly different issue, but Dr. Fauci told us so many things, infringed on our liberties in so many ways, and so much of what he told us turned out to be true, turned out not.
Is anybody else like, how the fuck did Fauci just get into this conversation? The fact they're still doing Fauci stuff, right? Like, Fauci's not running. He's retired. He's not even around anymore. I heard him say 69.
Not to be true, I should say that is a concern people have with just institutions and trust in our government in a general context.
Yeah. You could agree that's kind of changing the subject, though, right?
I just had a conversation right before I come on air about Fauci and all the things he did to our First Amendment liberties.
Okay. I don't want to get in the Fauci debate, but Hakeem Jeffries said during.
How did Fauci fuck up our First Amendment liberties, by the way? Just like, he can't do anything.
During a recent press conference,
I've got a Fauci story to cover.
House Democrats are going to do everything necessary to ensure that the winner of the presidential election is certified on January 6th without drama or consequences. Would you support that statement?
Yeah, fine. I mean, look, I'm for having this election. The winner's going to be the president. I believe that is going to be President Trump. I believe we're going to take the Senate. I think we're going to increase our majority in the House because you can feel that energy out there. And every metric, every data point is pointing in that direction.
Dude, who else said that the other day? Like, Republicans have now been talking about like, oh, no, it was John Fetterman. John Fetterman's like, you can feel the Trump energy. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was weird. Fuck Fetterman, by the way. The amount of people that like gave their time, dedicated their time, the news organizations that went and upheld him like a hero, And then he just is like, fuck all of you guys. It was all a show. I can't stand John Fetterman.
So I think that is exactly the case. Heck yeah, let's make sure we certify President Trump as the president because he's going to win, for goodness sake.
But if Trump loses, will you tell him to concede?
Well, he's not going to lose.
But if he loses, he might lose.
And if he loses, he will concede like he did last time.
He didn't concede.
Power
He never
was turned
conceded.
over last time, for goodness sake. That's how it works. And President Trump did that. He left the White House. Joe Biden came in, and we've had 3.5 years of ridiculous, crazy policy that has led to $2 gas going to $4 gas, stable prices going to record inflation, secure border going to a no border, and of course, all kinds of safe streets going to record levels of crime. That's what we got.
By the way, I don't know if you remember, Jim Jordan does the same thing in every interview. One, doesn't answer questions, but every time he says anything, he lists three things that are easily repeatable. He was the most effective communicator for the right when it came to all of Trump's impeachment hearings, because he does this every time. He gives you three things, and they don't have to be related. They don't have to be true. He rattles three things off like they're true and says every American knows these three things. And he does he does it literally. If you go watch any Jim Jordan interview, he will always name three things that everybody knows.
He never turned over last time, for goodness sake. That's how it works. And President Trump did that. He left the White House. Joe Biden came in, and we've had 3.5 years of ridiculous, crazy policy that has led to $2 gas going to $4 gas, stable prices going to record inflation, secure border going to a no border, and of course, all kinds of safe streets going to record levels of crime. That's what we got under Joe Biden. But President Trump left the White House, and we got Joe Biden in there, and everyone sees how bad it went, and that's why President Trump is winning and surging in all the metrics and all the measurements.
But I'm going to try one more time on that question. If he loses, are you going to tell him to concede?
Well, if he loses, he loses, but he's not going to lose. And we know
it's crazy. Like I know that this isn't a new thing. One of my pet peeves is like on the debate stage, like the first debate stage of the Republican or Democratic like nomination process. When I win, shut up. Don't stop saying when I win. Only one of you is going to win. And especially like when you're losing in the polls, but this inability to even say like, yeah, if we lose, we'll do the right thing. Like we can't even do that in America anymore. I actually don't know how we recover from this, to be honest, because we have become a nation that demands that our politicians lie to us. Like, don't tell us the truth ever. And as long as you're on our side, we don't mind. Bree says, joining the Sisters Wives Club. Do you like black women? I bring good. Sorry. Bree says, joining the Sister Wives Club. Do you like black women? Yes. I bring good cat food and sarcasm. Terrific. That's terrific. God. I didn't start a Sister Wives Club. There's an account called Sister Wives Club. You can take it up with them. I have nothing to do with this. Debbie says, I made $100 bet with a Trumper for Tuesday. What are my chances? I think the odds are in your favor. I think you would be the favorite. Terry says, have you ever been spanked? Not as an adult, Terry. Thank you for asking. I was spanked as a child. It was I think all of my friends were spanked. Did you guys grow up in the era where you were spanked? Raise your hand if your parents spanked you. Is that just like a conservative thing? I got it with a wooden spoon right below like your butt cheek. You know that tender part? I'd get a wooden spoon right there. I also had to get my mouth washed out with soap. I don't know if you guys had that. And we had that soft soap. So I just remember like getting that soft soap, and I wouldn't put it in my mouth. So they put it on their finger and shove it in your mouth. And that soft soap taste would be in your mouth forever. No, geez, got punched. God, sorry. I opened up a can of worms, so I apologize. Jesse says, be good for goodness sake. Guys, feeling Xmas-y. Haley says, is your name Winter? Because you'll be coming soon. My God. Fuck. All right. This is Bree says, raising my hand for you to spank me. Thank you. Good Lord. You're like a wine. Jessica says you're like a wine tasting. They say to spit, but I always prefer to swallow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jason says, "Can I be your deep freezer? I promise not to scream when you pack your meat in it." What the fuck is going on? Did you all start drinking early today? Did everybody start drinking? Jennifer says, "Lie to me, Daddy." Okay, I'll lie to you. I'm comfortable with all of this. There's oh my God. Cameron says they call you Triple H, honest heirloom butthead. I like that one. Didn't Jeff drop a Triple H reference or somebody the other day? Somebody dropped a Triple H reference. They said his full name. All right. God damn. I should not have asked about spankings. Thank you. Mom, good morning if you're here. It's good to have you here, Mom. Terrific having you here. Okay. There's Jim Jordan. Here is actually, I'll just relate this. I'll go to the other ones. But Jim Jordan mentioned Fauci, and he's like, "Oh, I just got done with an interview about Fauci." I don't know if it was about this, but this is one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my life. Shout out Idaho. Do we have any Idahoans here? Any spuds here? Shout out southwestern Idaho, which is just an extension of Utah. Just listen to what happened in southwestern Idaho yesterday.
The Idaho Health Board becomes the first in the U.S. to defy the CDC and FDA by removing COVID vaccines from clinics. We are winning. VigilantNews.com reports Idaho Southwest District Health will no longer offer COVID-19 vaccines after its board voted 4-3 last week to pull the shots from 30 locations where it provides healthcare services. You can stay vigilant at VNN. Idaho Southwest District Health will no longer offer
VNN is Vigilant Fox Network or something like this is them, the Vigilant Fox. They are celebrating that they have convinced a medical board that decides whether or not their clinics have COVID shots to pull the COVID shot. No more COVID shots there. Southwestern Idaho.
COVID-19 vaccines after its board voted 4-3 last week to pull the shots from the 30 locations where it provides healthcare services. It is the first health agency in America to do that. Laura Demaray, a Southwest Idaho resident and nurse who attended the October 22nd vote, told The Defender. Namiste Cardfeld, executive director of Health Freedom Idaho, agreed that the board's vote is historic. It's thrilling, she told The Defender.
Thrilling. It's thrilling. You know how fucking far down the rabbit hole and in a cult you have to get to say it's thrilling that a vaccine that saved millions of lives and ended a pandemic is no longer available? Thrilling.
Defender. The board's vote came after it received about 300 public comments urging the district, which encompasses 6 counties, to stop promoting the shots. Just before the board voted, members heard presentations from cardiologist Dr. Peter McCullough, pathologist Dr. Ryan Cole.
Cardiologist who I don't believe still has a license, Peter McCullough. Let's double check. Did Peter McCullough lose his license? I think he did. Maybe he didn't. Oh, he's just fired. Okay. I don't see any other one. Yeah, just fired. Baylor, where he got his medical license, filed a restraining order against him saying, like, you can't tell people, you can't keep using Baylor. It's like, oh, I went to Baylor. Baylor agrees. Baylor had to say, like, no, you can't use our name anymore. So Peter McCullough, quack, who suddenly became very rich, by the way. Weird that Peter McCullough took his COVID stance and now he's like making money off it. He's in the political. He's the libertarian now. So Peter McCullough, Ryan Cole, Renata Moon. Renata Moon's one of like RFK's favorite people. I think she went to Stanford. But notice what's missing here. Cardiologist, pathologist, pediatrician, obstetrician, gynecologist. Not a single virologist. Not one virologist. The actual experts that they should have heard from. There should have been a virologist here. But we didn't. We didn't have a virologist. We had a cardiologist, pathologist, pediatrician, obstetrician, gynecologist. By the way, where the fuck did they get an gynecologist in Idaho? I thought they got rid of all the gynecologists. I can't believe they didn't have a chiropractor in there. That's who usually loves the COVID stuff. Usually the COVID stuff is the chiropractors.
Pediatric physician Dr. Renata Moon and obstetrician and gynecologist Dr. James Thorpe on safety concerns related to the COVID-19 vaccines. Dr. John Tribble, the board's only physician, invited them to speak. Now, Dr. Tribble was a very brave board member who was very...
Yeah, why weren't there any bud tenders? Why don't we have any bud tenders up there? And then Moms for Liberty was there. They might as well speak.
...aware of the harms of the COVID injection. Said Desmarais, he asked me to help gather the presenters. Now, Desmarais, who's...
I also want to say this. So Desmarais, who's a doctor, they're saying he's brave. There's nothing brave about pushing pseudoscience. Nothing. In fact, I would say it's cowardice. You are taking information that is incomplete and unprovable, and you are taking a stand against a vaccine that has saved millions of lives. That's not brave. In no scenario is that brave. That is caving to mob mentality. That's what that is.
Who said that she knows many people injured by the COVID-19 vaccines, and others reached out to the experts who could present data related to COVID-19 vaccine harms to the board. It was total teamwork. Additionally, Mary Holland, Children's Health Defense CEO, applauded the board's action, saying, after hearing from 300 constituents, listening to well-informed physicians, and assessing the public record, the Southwest Idaho Health District Board made an informed decision not to stock its own clinics with COVID shots. Desmarais and Holland pointed out that the board did not take away anyone's freedom to get it. If residents want one, they can obtain the shots from other pharmacies and doctors' offices.
Yeah, just like now we're creating, we've created maternal health deserts in Idaho. Now we're doing pandemic health deserts. I think Idaho's whole plan, I'm pretty sure, and especially, listen, these are Mormons. These people are Mormons. These are my people. I know exactly who these people are. These are the Mormons. And what they're doing right now, and what Mormons, the fringe Mormon groups are doing, is they're testing God right now. They're saying, listen, these are all just signs of the second coming of Jesus, and we're not going to fight against the second coming of Jesus. That's one of the scariest part about some of these religions, when they believe in the second coming and they believe in all these signs, that when they interpret something as a sign of the second coming, they fight against it. So things like climate change, things like vaccines, any sort of Mormons and other Christians have been against IVF. They've been against stem cell research. All of these things, historically, even simple things like testosterone replacement therapy, they've been against all of that because it's fighting against God's will. That's who these people are right now. By the way, shout out to any of my friends in southwestern Idaho. I was conceived in Idaho. But I made it out. You can too. Who's not Mormon? Says she's not Mormon. I think Satan would get me if I swam in a body of water on Sunday. Yeah. When we were on our missions, you couldn't swim. Couldn't swim as Mormon missionaries because Satan controlled the water.
I would consider this to be an absolute win. The fact is, look, if election fraud can take place primarily at a small regional level, we're talking about at a institutional level where people can sort of, pack the vote or duplicate, the voter rolls. Maybe we can fight against the medical industrial complex, not by necessarily overhauling the FDA or
duplicate the voter roll. Did you just say there?
We're talking about at a institutional level where people can sort of, pack the vote or duplicate, the voter rolls. Maybe.
What? What is he talking about? Does anybody know what he's talking about with duplicating voter rolls? What does that mean? There just happens to be two of everybody? Did nobody caught that? I have no idea. Listen, I just started following Vigilant Fox on Twitter because they put out a lot of great misinformation. But yeah, I don't know what he's talking about there. Cloning? Maybe it's cloning. Yeah, maybe it's cloning. The sad part is that Jesus has only been able to come once. He's just the duplicate, the role. Johnny, that's beautiful.
Maybe we can fight against the medical industrial complex, not by necessarily overhauling the FDA or destroying pharmaceutical companies, but just by blocking their vaccines from being so accessible so that people that are in their stupidity don't have access to these clot shots. But I digress. So the FBI might call it house stealing. We all know about this. You probably heard about this.
Sal says, I would never fight against a second coming. All right, Sal. Gail says, are you a vampire? Because I wouldn't mind if you sucked the life out of me. Christ almighty. I am not a vampire. Ashley says, I don't normally make you subject of my dirty jokes, but when you mentioned Bizquick on Carrie Lake's face, I was curious. How do you feel about Jizzquick on my face? Yeah, like if you're into it, I don't know. I don't know. Jake says, I'll give you a wooden spoon, daddy. Good Lord. I'm not going to be able to finish this show. All right. Okay. Let's get back to these crazy people in Idaho.
Devastating crime on the news because it's a big problem. Scammers can transfer your home title, take out loans in your name, or any rental. And get 30 days free when you use the
home title lock. What is home title lock? Locking your titles up? All right. Here's more just like craziness. And remember that this person is supposed to be RFK Jr. has been promised that he will be the head of HHS, Human Health and Services. Listen to the insanity here. Just with Tulsi Gabbard sitting by in her lovely olive green pantsuit. That's a nice color on her, actually. But like we've lost the fucking plot, Republicans. We're not even in left field. Like we didn't find the fucking stadium at this point. We got to find the stadium.
One of the telling things that happened this week is that Bill Gates made his first political contribution in history. He gave $50 million to Kamala Harris. Now, do you think he did that because out of a patriotic impulse?
Well, that's what he said. He's certainly not doing it for a tax break, right? Does any of you guys want to guess what why he's about to say that Bill Gates did this? Yeah, that's his real voice. He's got some sort of condition with his vocal cords. I don't know what it is, but do you want to guess? Somebody guess what he's going to accuse Bill Gates of here. Why did Bill Gates give $50 million? It wasn't because of a patriotic duty. Farmland. Good guess. Good guess, Guardian Angel Drink. That's one of those like Bill Gates conspiracy theories that has a little bit of legs to it. Buying up the farmland. Vaccines. You're all wrong. It's something I've never heard of before.
And do you think he did that out of a humanitarian impulse? Oh, he did that to protect his wealth and his system, which he calls philanthrocapitalism, which is a way of making yourself rich by pretending to give money away to good causes. And he wants to keep that. He just got indicted in the Netherlands and is going.
His philanthropic work is apparently a way for him to get rich. He's one of the richest men in the world. I saw him on an interview say if he gave away 99% of his wealth, he would be worth $1.3 billion still. I think if I'm correct, I believe he plans on basically giving away all of his wealth. But this part, he just got indicted in the Netherlands, is absolutely categorically untrue. I checked it out. Somebody tried to sue him. It's a civil suit. He hasn't been indicted. The civil suit hasn't gone anywhere. Just somebody tried to sue him. That's it. An anti-vaxxer in the Netherlands tried to sue him. And RFK is standing on this stage or sitting on this stage next to Tulsi Gabbard, a Russian propagandist, and saying Bill Gates is only giving money to Kamala Harris because he's going to make money off of it with philanthrocapitalism, and he just got indicted in the Netherlands. None of that's true. None of it.
In the Netherlands and is going to trial.
It's not going to trial.
Yeah.
That's not true.
And I published an Instagram post or an X post that said, "You're welcome, Kamala," because I'm quite sure that the reason that he gave that is he does not want me running the health system in this country and looking into his business practices.
If you were running the health system in this country, you wouldn't be looking into his business practices. That wouldn't be your role. So that doesn't make sense either. Like, I don't know. Like, Do they know? Do you guys think RFK knows he's lying? Are they this crazy, or do they know? Every bit of that is a lie, and we're used to it with Trump. But like Trump, I would say I give Trump a little bit more leeway because I think he's stupid. So I'm like, yeah, Trump says awful things, but he's stupid. And so like he might believe some of those things. RFK, I believe, is smarter than that. Tulsi Gabbard, I believe, is smarter than that. That's what's so gross about all of this, is that they know that they have this audience of morons and they can say anything they want. And the more outlandish the things they say, the more incited the audience is, the more excited they get. Every time they talk about like vengeance, or they talk about somebody on the other side and how they're evil, like standing ovation. And I know that that happens both ways. Like I recognize that we're doing a show right now where I'm just shitting on Republicans. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen both ways, but we're not lying about it. We're just saying like, here's what happened. Here's RFK lying to the MAGA folks. And then like, he's never been more popular. For those that say like MAGA did a great thing bringing him in, he was always MAGA. The people saying they were going to vote for him, it was always MAGA. If you guys remember Bad Views, I haven't seen Bad Views in a while. He was an RFK person because he had lost enough arguments that he knew he couldn't be like Trump. He couldn't defend supporting Trump anymore, but RFK like allowed him to have the conspiracy theory views without like the Trump stuff. Jesse was an RFK person too. Was he really? What is Jesse doing now? I haven't seen Jesse in a while. Last I saw Jesse had a girlfriend, and now I don't see him anymore. Speaking of total shitbags that are part of MAGA, here's another shitbag endorsing MAGA, and he's real sad. Brett Favre is not happy about being called trash. This is Brett Favre in where the fuck they were. I think they were in Green Bay, pretty sure.
I want to address the comment that Joe Biden made yesterday.
Sorry, it's quiet.
That said the supporters of Donald Trump, us, or garbage. I can assure you, we're not garbage. Brown County.
Yeah, Brett Favre is garbage. Brett Favre is garbage. I see some people talking about Mississippi. Brett Favre was part of a scam in Mississippi to divert funds set aside for poor people to his daughter's and his alma mater's university to build a volleyball stadium. And we have text messages and emails behind the scenes saying, hey, is there any, like, because they were paying him too, $1.3 million for speaking fees. He's like, hey, is there, that nobody will ever find out that this money's coming from like poor people, right? Like, there's no way anybody could track this back to me. And they were like, no, they did track it back to him. And he absolutely defrauded the state of Mississippi. You know what he also did? He also got run out of the NFL. He played for way too long. He played for the Jets. He played for Minnesota after, like, way past his prime. But one of the things that happened to Brett Favre that people forget about is that Brett Favre would meet reporters, and if he thought they were attractive, he would send unsolicited dick pics to them. And he got in trouble for that. And he's basically like blackballed from the league. That's why you don't see Brett Favre commentating, which that's what he wanted to do. But he can't, because he's blackballed by the league for sending unsolicited dick pics to reporters. This is an act when we're not garbage. Yeah, you are. No, you're garbage. You're actual garbage. You are who we were talking about. You are the trash. By the way, now he's being sued, and his defense is that he didn't know because he's had a lot of concussions and recently diagnosed with Parkinson's, which is horrific. And I feel for anybody and that's diagnosed with Parkinson's. But now he's trying to hide behind concussions and Parkinson's for why he's a scammer. Like why he's just cool stealing money from poor people. These folks don't care about anything but Donald Trump. That's the most embarrassing part. There are however many people here. I don't know how the attendance was there. Let me show you the attendance in Georgia though. Find that. Where is it? I feel like I put it in here. Yeah, here it is. The trash seems to not be showing up quite as much. This was Trump's rally in Georgia. I don't know. This is to give credit here. Travis Akers This is a picture. This is a panoramic of Trump speaking. This is during Trump's speech. Let me do this. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I'll just cover myself up there so that you guys can see it. Oops. Let's do that. There we go.
Importantly, at taxpayer expense, by the way. She lied about working.
See how the whole upper deck? The whole upper deck is empty. Nobody up there. But then you look how many empty seats, and you can hear him speaking.
On top of all this, in conclusion, take a look. She wants to turn our military woke. I don't think that's happening. Go ahead.
Low energy. Yeah. Remember, and he's always saying like, "Oh, my crowd sizes are massive. Like we've got massive crowd sizes." She can't fill an arena. She filled that arena like 2 days before that. Let me make sure I fixed all the. I moved so many things around. I want to make sure you guys can still see it. Okay, go down there. Perfect. So I have a little bit of hope there that the trash, like some people don't want to be associated with trash. Oh no, the woke military. Every guy says it's bigger than it is. I'm going to be 100% honest. I've never lied about that. I've never lied about that to anybody because I just feel like if you lie about it and then it's in person, they're going to be like, wait a minute, that wasn't true. Jake says, I will give a third coming down your throat after Jesus has his turn. Am I getting gangbanged by Jake and Jesus in that? Good Lord, I'm so sorry. I'm not writing these. I just want that to be clear. Sal says I can make you bigger. Thank you, Sal. Okay. Terrific. That is. We're having fun. Fun today. My face is not going to stop being red. I think people are going to think I got sunburn. Get some, Jesus. All right. What were we talking about? All right, we were showing Trump's empty crowd. They're a little ahead of me here. I did all that. All right. This section of the show is called Republicans Will End Democracy. Jen, I'll do the math in a second. I just need a video long enough. This happened in South Carolina yesterday. We're seeing this over and over again. The one thing we all know for sure about MAGA is they love to be the victim. And so even when rules that everybody has known forever that you can't wear like political gear to the polls, you can't wear an Obama shirt, you can't wear a Hillary shirt, you can't wear a Trump shirt. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows the rules. MAGA this entire election season has just been throwing fits about it. This is a grown man losing his shit and then trying to fight a woman because they said he can't vote with a MAGA hat on.
Oh, that's no reason. Yeah, all that, sir. Wow. This is my motherfucking right.
Wow.
Why is it defending you? It's not defending me. All right, then shut the hell up and let me vote. Okay, Jamie. Okay, we ain't got nothing else to say. We ain't got nothing else to say.
Wow.
Next thing, there it is right there.
Wow.
Step on it.
Oh, wow. God. Oh.
Don't do that.
Did you see it? I don't know what he did, but she got a shot off here, right here. She got him with a scratch. South Carolina. I think he poked her like in the head, and she caught him with a scratch. But then this guy, like, bro, take your medicine, dude. Take your medicine. You poke your finger in a woman's face that's, 8 inches shorter than you, and now you're gonna get mad?
Wow. 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 Wow.
Wow. Women now. Somebody keeps asking, where's this from? It was from South Carolina. I don't know where in South Carolina, but this is South Carolina.
Wow. I'm not going to work with him. You may want to work with him.
He did get arrested later. I was curious about this guy, actually, though. This guy kind of made me upset. Let's see if I can find a freeze for him. You see in the back corner, I'll expand this. In the back corner, there's a guy, that lady that's barely in frame. There's a guy just between her and the tallest lady, and he's just sitting there filming it. Like, I'm a little frustrated that, like, why is that guy not standing up for these women? Why is he not cutting in right there? How do you watch this happen and you just sit there and film it?
Wow.
That was a little frustrating.
Wow.
I don't know what side of the aisle that guy's on. I hope he's not on our side of the aisle, because you step in at that point. This guy's trying to attack a woman. Why? This is why MAGA, like, this is why we have a hard time connecting with MAGA, is the things that they perceive as an attack on them is crazy. The attack that he felt was that he had to keep the same rules that everybody else had to keep. That was it. And he's like, oh, it's because it's MAGA. Do you see anybody else there with political attire on? Not one of them. Why aren't there any men there to help? Yeah, because conservative men don't show up and volunteer for elections. That's why. You ever go to a conservative area? Yeah, I promise you it's not going to be, unless it's like Walmart greeter age. Sometimes they'll do it. Chris says, worth every cent to see you turn red. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Jake says, dear Jen, the only tapping I'm going to be doing is tapping Jay. Okay. Guess that was directed at Jen. Wasn't me, says saving your red face. Puppies, cookies, Muppets. Thank you. Thank you. That did save it. I appreciate that. Hey, Greg, what's up, man? You there, Greg?
Yeah, brother. I have to share this with you.
Please.
Okay, I went to the polls today to vote, and they are finding ways to get around not being able to wear political garb and stuff to the polls.
Okay.
Can you? Oh,
let me make you big.
Sorry.
I'll expand that. Yeah. There you go.
There's your new fashion statement for voting in Kentucky.
Oh, Jesus. It took me a second to see it.
Yep. Ear bandage. But they're not in a cult, Jay.
It's not a cult.
Of course, I left my Harris hat and I had my Lincoln Project hat, and I was like, well, I just went ahead and put on a good Nike college hat, and this guy was right in front of me. But just to let you know, and then I'll drop off. I'm sorry to bother you guys.
No, this is great. You're always welcome.
I called my wife and said, honey, you're not going to believe this. There's some dipshit in front of me with a bandage on his ear. The guy wouldn't even turn around.
We heard you say it.
He had to have heard. He had to have heard me say it. And my wife was like, well, is he doing it for Halloween? I said, no, he's drunk all the Kool-Aid.
He put on his best fishing shirt.
The good news is Wednesday I can shave the beard and stuff. I just figured I wanted to look as MAGA as I can and sport this Harris hat. That way I can get plenty of looks.
I love the beard. I hope you don't shave it. I think you got to keep it.
I hear you, but I just thought you would appreciate that.
That's amazing.
Little ear bandage. I mean, I had to look at that for 35 minutes waiting to vote, and I just was shaking my head the whole time.
Did you ask him, like, sir, what's wrong with your ear?
No, he wouldn't turn around after he heard me say there's some dipshit with the bandage on his ear.
That's amazing.
And my wife was like, my God, am I going to have to bail you out? And I said, no. She said, don't get in a fight. And I said, I'm not going to.
That's amazing.
There were a lot of women at the polls, and today was the first day of early voting in Kentucky, and amazing lines and a lot of women. So
good. Shout out women.
Yeah. Keep our fingers crossed.
I'm nervous, but every day I keep saying, every day. I mean, we can look at poll numbers all we want, but when we're looking at exit polls and we're looking at registered voters, like, it looks good. It looks it looks totally different than the polls. So we'll see if that holds.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Arizona goes blue, I guess I'll have to maybe move back to Cochise County.
Yeah, come on down. We'll grab a beer.
I hear you, brother.
I do. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Keep it up.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Guys, I did see a lot of people jump in the box right then. I just want to know, Greg has special rights on friendlies. Greg always gets up. So if you are friendly, if there's something you want to show me, send it to Jen on Discord, but I don't want to just open up the box. Anyway, so there's the Republicans fighting women because they can't wear their MAGA hat. Here's some more stories. This is about Jennifer Griswold. Jennifer Griswold is the Colorado Secretary of State, and election workers across the country and people who are in elected offices that deal with elections are facing threats. Here's Jennifer Griswold.
I have received over 1,000 death threats or physical bodily harm threats. The top states to have received threats to election workers are actually Michigan, Georgia, and Colorado. And in Colorado, we have some of the best elections in the nation, but we have also not been immune to the threats from Donald Trump's lies.
I just went through a rigged election. They want to try and steal an election. Our elections are bad.
It definitely has been the most challenging part of being Secretary of State over the last 6 years. We have had to address 2 threats from county clerks, threats to election officials in the counties and in my office, fentanyl scares, people at the polls with guns. But with that, we've addressed it and then tightened our laws, making sure it's illegal to have guns close to where people are voting or processing ballots. We made it a crime to dox or retaliate against election workers. I made it a felony to compromise voting equipment and led the nation's first law, making it a crime to be a fake elector. Election officials like myself have to plan for really unnecessary disasters. There is no reason we should have to be planning for these domestic conspiracies and the effect it has on our elections, but we have to. Donald Trump tweeted out how he's going to come after election workers.
Former President Trump suggesting he may imprison his political opponents if he wins.
Yeah, I saw that. Right.
Election workers, election judges, there are neighbors, there are aunts, our uncles, our grandparents who step up to do a civic duty. And the idea that the far right, that MAGA Republicans would be incentivizing violence shows what a dangerous place this country is at. But at the end of the day, I will not be intimidated. All these lies have been used to justify voter suppression efforts to try to destabilize our elections. And that's because the people have the power. The American voters have so much power to choose democracy, to protect our fundamental freedoms in November.
Our elections are absolutely under attack. Ryan pointed out there was the guy in Florida that was brandishing a machete. This is a story here. Just about the major threats that U.S. intelligence is warning us about in this election season. Again, this is new, and this is Republicans. If there's any Republicans here, like, this is you. There aren't instances of people on our side trying to subvert the election. None. And this is why you guys are so easily manipulated, is because they tell you that we're doing something so that you can justify doing the thing that they claim we're doing, which we're not doing. Ballot boxes are being set on fire in liberal areas. They now know who the suspect is. Shocker, somebody between 30 and 40 that's a white dude. Shocker, right? White dude trying to fight a bunch of people at an election or at a polling place. White dude with a machete in Florida. It's conservative Christian white men that are literally a threat to our country, more so than anybody who's coming here illegally, more so than any of our inner cities. The biggest threat to all of us is white Christian dudes. And if you're a white Christian dude, talk to your other white Christian dudes. Tell them to stop fucking things up for everybody.
Intelligence agencies are warning of threats of violence in the upcoming election. In a joint intelligence bulletin, agents from the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are warning law enforcement agencies that domestic violent extremists are seeking to terrorize and disrupt the vote. Let's get more now from NBC's Ken Delanian. What more can you tell us about this warning, Ken?
Good morning, Anna. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are warning in this new intelligence bulletin of the heightened risk of lone wolf attacks by domestic extremists motivated by election-related conspiracy theories, including beliefs in widespread voter fraud and their hatred of their political opponents. This will surprise no one who's been paying attention, but it's significant that these agencies are putting this out to local law enforcement a week before the election. The new unclassified bulletin says the goal of these attacks would be to terrorize and disrupt the vote. And to be clear, this document does not describe intelligence about any specific threat. It talks about a general atmosphere of anger and misinformation that could prompt unstable people to engage in threats or violence. And of course, we've already seen that in recent weeks with a series of arrests for election threats, including a man in Philadelphia who allegedly threatened to skin election workers alive. And remember last week, police in Phoenix arrested a person in connection with a mailbox fire that damaged around 20 ballots. The report identified potential targets of violence to include candidates, elected officials, election workers, members of the media.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
With a series of arrests for election threats, including a man in Philadelphia who allegedly threatened to skin election workers alive.
I went back
and remember last week, police in Phoenix arrested a person in connection with a mailbox fire that.
Yeah, also a person in Tempe has been firing on the DNC headquarters in Tempe. They found him. He had something like 2,500 rounds of ammunition. I think it was like 13 weapons and explosives in his house. And he was shooting up the DNC election headquarters in Tempe. Republican. If these people exist, like, what about the ones that are still making up their mind?
Damaged around 20 ballots.
Making up, like, am I actually gonna do this? Somebody asked the other day, like, do I think that January 6th, that we'll have another January 6th? And I said no, and I'm starting to rethink that because it's far more violent now than it was last time. And if Trump loses, that's going to escalate. Cameron said, I know you said you're not opening the box for friendlies today, but would you open my box and be friendly with it? Okay. Gail says, forget the broomsticks. Why don't you take me for a ride tonight? God damn. Tanner says, not to toot my own horn, Jay, but I was campaign coordinator in Jenna Griswold's first election for Colorado Secretary of State. Thank you. That didn't make my face red at all. Toot that horn. Oh, fuck. Never mind. I don't know why I just said that. I shouldn't have said that. Sal says, just so you know, I'd never let your poll exit. That sounds awful, honestly. That sounds awful. Zachary says they don't call me a Hoover for nothing. All right. Jesus. Cam says they're wearing Niners gear at the polls. That's okay. The Niners aren't hurting anybody, Cameron. Nobody's being hurt by the Niners. You can wear it. And Haley says, what size of handcuffs do you wear? I don't know, Haley. Never been handcuffed.
The report identified potential targets of violence to include candidates, elected officials, election workers, members of the media, and judges involved in election cases. The potential threats include physical attacks and violence at polling places, ballot drop boxes, voter registration locations, and rallies and campaign events. And of course, Anna, the report doesn't say this, but it's obvious that a lot of these extremists are driven by years of lies about the election, 2020 election, by Donald Trump and his allies.
A very, very important warning. Ken Delanian, thank you for bringing us that.
There we go. And then this, because you know who doesn't want to be left out of trying to steal an election? The Supreme Court. They don't want to be left out. Virginia, the Supreme Court has ruled that the government of Virginia, the governor of Virginia, is allowed to purge voters. Now, here's something Republicans can't argue. And here's a question I think you guys should ask Republicans if they have the courage to speak to you. Why is it that Republicans want less people to vote? And this isn't an argument. Like, Republicans will say, we just don't want people who are registered illegally to vote. But this ruling from the Supreme Court affects registered voters who are citizens and who are legal to vote. And they are being purged from the records. And so they took this to the court saying, hey, our governor is purging people from the records, but they're not doing it in a way that's purging only people who shouldn't be on the records. There are other people that should be on the records, that are legal, that are registered to vote, and they're being purged from the records. And the only way for them to get back on the records is to know that it happened to them, and then they have to go through a process. But the Republicans don't care, because what do they want? They want less people to vote, especially in specific places.
We have breaking news now from the Supreme Court, which is allowing.
Mark Elias says it won't affect the election outcome, so there's that. What if it does? What if it does in a school board race? What if it does in a local mayor's race? It could. It may not affect the presidential election, but all this shit is what has allowed Republicans to take over local governments. It's because they do shit like this. And they make sure that, like, they know that they don't say it publicly, like on a big stage. But if you go to Republican meetings, if you look at the Project 2025 people, their focus for the last 7 years has been taking over election boards. We see it in Georgia. Donald Trump's praising those election workers in Georgia who are setting up to try and steal the election for him. You've seen it with the Moms of Liberty going after school boards and trying to infiltrate school boards. Every candidate on my ballot that was a Republican is a Moms for Liberty adjacent person. Anti-vax, anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ, pro-school choice, all the shit that Moms for Liberty have been lying and projecting on conservative moms across this country. Like, this is what Republicans are doing. And yeah, you're right. Alito, Thomas, and Kavanaugh all need to be impeached. Every one of them. This is silly. You are taking away the rights of Americans to vote because of the actions of some other people. Right? People have lost their right to vote this election, and the Supreme Court just said that's fine. As long as people lose their right to vote while people who should lose their right to vote are losing their right to vote, then it's fine. That's not how our laws should work. It's not how we should operate. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. Must have heard someone outside. I don't know what you Republicans see in all this. Do none of you care? Not one of you guys cares that this is happening?
The state of Virginia to move ahead with a purge of its voter rolls. This is after a lower court had found that the purge was happening too close to election day.
Hold on. You didn't hear me yell
Ken
girls,
Delaney,
did
and
you?
fill us in here, Ken.
I muted it. You guys didn't hear it, right? You just saw me do it? Yeah, usually I charge extra for that. Saw you. Okay, gotcha. That was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life when I paused the video to yell. Like, I thought I was muting. That was tough.
Yeah, Anna, the conservatives on the Supreme Court are allowing this purge to go forward that not only a federal district judge, but the appeals court deemed was illegal under federal law after the Justice Department sued Virginia. And the issue here is that federal law says you can't purge voter rolls within 90 days of an election. Virginia is saying that these people are all non-citizens based on a form that they filled out at the Motor Vehicle Department. But there have been validated citizens among these people who have talked to reporters and showed them their passports. There are U.S. citizens among these 1,600 people, and they have now been purged from the voter rolls. Now, Virginia.
We have breaking news now from the Supreme Court, which is allowing the
Shit. Ah, damn it. I'd made it all through yesterday. I made it one day. Fuck. Supreme Court has said, like, the Supreme Court now makes this ruling. Two lower courts are like, yeah, the law specifically says you can't purge voter records within 90 days. And the Supreme Court's just like, fuck it. Yeah. No, it's all right. Fuck it. We know what the law is. By the way, remember Republicans complaining about Pennsylvania and they're like, they changed the law, or they changed the rules without going through Congress? Well, now they're doing it again. They're breaking the law without going through Congress to change the law. Nobody gives a shit. The Supreme Court rules it's fine. Just fine. It's cool. Like, we understand what the law is. We understand how the law is written. Our job is to rule on the law, but we've decided, fuck it. That's our Supreme Court. They ruled. They didn't rule that the law was unconstitutional. They didn't rule any of it. They just said, yeah, you can break the law. It's fine. The governor can break the law. It's no big deal. Why does anybody have a problem with this? Like, it is so corrupt at this point. Like, it is just blatantly corrupt. And this is why I don't know what we do. Imagine Trump wasn't a fucking idiot. I'm worried about even next election, because J.D. Vance, for some reason, comes off to people as likable, just a normal guy. People are easily duped, and they do not care. And you have one party that is hell-bent on taking back power in any way that they possibly can. If they can't do it through elections, they will do it through cheating. They will do it through legislation. They will do it through corruption. They will do all of that. It's a staggering reality of where we are as a country right now. I don't think we can undersell it. In fact, I think that we don't talk about it enough. Democracy is not necessarily on the ballot. Democracy is definitely on the ballot, though, of public opinion. We're on the verge of millions and millions of Americans saying, I don't think democracy is working anymore. Because we're not winning. Like, we're not winning elections, therefore democracy is not working anymore. We're right there. A Donald Trump loss is going to bring out a lot of crazy people. And we already know. Like, I don't know, Big Boat's not here today, but we talked to Big Boat. We talk to these Republicans every day. These ones that are like, look, I'm not a Trump fan, but I'm just going to plug my nose and vote for him. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when it's J.D. Vance? What are you going to do when it's Ron DeSantis? And they're like, yeah, we're going to teach the Bible in every school. We're going to have the Bible in every school. We're just doing that. And by the way, no more IVF, no more contraceptives. No more, we're not doing birth control anymore. If you have sex, those are the consequences. You see, but the thing is, yeah, Jesus, I appreciate you being here. They do care. They just don't think it's going to happen. The real problem with Republicans is they do care. They just have convinced themselves that all this crazy shit isn't actually going to happen. Like, yeah, it's just what they say, but it's not what they're going to do. That's a hell of a chance. That's a crazy thing to do, to vote for somebody and be like, I know I'm voting for them and this is what they say, but I think they're actually going to do something different. Remember, Republicans, you don't know these people. You have no idea who these people are. And you just let them lie to you. Just please lie to me. Lie to me, Daddy. Lie to me, Daddy Trump. Let me check messages. I'm terrified to check messages every time. All right. Raul's good. Raul, uncensored and unmuted. That's right. Thanks, Raul. I've never in my life thought that if I was hosting like a show that I would be the one that was least outrageous. I'm used to being the most outrageous. I think that's why my face gets so red. And now I kind of feel for my family and friends who have been around me, my mom specifically, who have been around me in public situations. I feel for them a little bit. Here's Trump thanking that election board in Georgia by name. Think about this. Nobody even knows what these people do. Historically, nobody's known. This is 6 minutes from Rachel Maddow. But just talking about like how Republicans plan to actually steal this election.
You're going to hear him say here a few names that you have never heard before. And that's actually what is important about this. So
I think we should be proud that not only have we heard these names before, but we've also covered these names before. So for anybody claiming I'm ripping off Rachel Maddow, I did this before Rachel Maddow. I was early on this. So take that, Rachel.
Please watch. Again, it's a short clip, but this was that same rally in Georgia.
I don't know if you've heard, but the Georgia State Election Board is in a very positive way. This is a very positive thing, Marjorie. They're on fire. They're doing a great job. 3 members, Janice Johnson, Rick Jeffries, and Janelle King. 3 people are all pit bulls fighting for honesty, transparency, and victory. They're fighting. Are they here? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they?
See, I'm pointing to her.
Thank you. What a job. Thank you.
And by the way, what they've done is they have tried to pass laws and rules without the legislature. They've just tried to create new rules that they get to follow or not follow, and they've been struck down repeatedly. Like, this is what's this crowd right here, and this dumb fuck behind the microphone is saying, we are so proud of these 3 election workers who have been attempting since I left office to subvert democracy, to ignore the laws, and to put in apparatuses that allow me, if I lose Georgia, to try and steal the election. And everybody here is like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. We love cheating. We love it. That's what's being cheered for right here.
Thank you. These people he's shouting out by name, at least one of those people is apparently there at the rally, waving back at him, and he's acknowledging her. The reason you've never heard of these people is because they have a job that's supposed to be an obscure technocratic job. They are members of the Georgia State Elections Board. He describes them as 3 pit bulls fighting for victory. And he calls them out by name, and he thanks them, and he praises them, and he points out at least one of.
Is it possible that Donald Trump sees everybody as dogs? If you're somebody he doesn't like, you're a dog. But if you're somebody he likes, you're a pit bull. It's possible that Donald Trump doesn't know the difference between humans and animals.
Of them who's there in person at the front row of his rally. He says they're doing a great job. They are, quote, fighting for victory. The Georgia State Elections Board is not supposed to be the kind of entity that has its members shouted out at a candidate's rally for all they're doing to assure the victory of that candidate. Right? The State Elections Board is responsible for administering elections. For, in the words of Georgia state statutes, they're responsible for conducting, quote, fair, legal, and orderly elections for the state of Georgia. And here is Trump shouting them out by name for all the great work they're doing for him. Since the 2020 election, in which Trump tried mightily and failed to overturn the results of the presidential election in Georgia, since a Georgia grand jury indicted him and multiple co-defendants on multiple felonies, including RICO charges.
I still can't believe that that's the mugshot that people took seriously and people wear that mugshot. I still can't believe that. He looks like such a fucking idiot. It's the dumbest mugshot. I don't know why people think that's so cool. It's a terrible mugshot.
For trying to overturn the election in contravention of law. Georgia Republicans have since replaced the membership of the Georgia State Board of Elections so that it's now stocked with election deniers and Trump superfans, who Trump is now shouting out by name at his rallies while they sit in the front row and wave back at him. They have also stocked election deniers and Trump superfans on county election boards throughout the state of Georgia and in other swing states as well. But why is that important? These elections officials who are doing the kinds of jobs that shouldn't make them famous, why is it important that they're election deniers and Trump superfans that have been installed since Trump tried and failed to overturn the results of the last election? Well, those county elections officials in multiple counties, in multiple swing states, since 2020, they have refused to certify local election results dozens of times.
Tony says this is how democracy dies, by thunderous applause. Yeah.
Right, the state election board members who Trump shouted out at his rally this weekend, they're now pushing through a new rule in the state of Georgia that will give any county official at the county elections board level, give them the leeway to refuse to certify election results in that county, or at least to delay the certification of election results in that county. And why does that matter? Because no matter how people vote in a particular state, right, no matter who gets the most votes in a particular state, election results get tallied locally, and then they get certified by each county, and then they get certified at the state level. That's how we get official election results from each state. If individual counties, whether they're big counties or small counties, even little rural, really Trumpy counties with almost no people in them, if counties refuse to certify their county level results, the idea is that will stop the state from being able to certify its results because they won't have official results from every county.
They tried that in Arizona. I think it was in Cochise. I think it was Cochise County. But the groundwork that has been laid here is the other part that's terrifying, because all of this not only requires people on a local level, it also requires mass appeal and mass acceptance by MAGA. Now, MAGA has been for 3.5 years, they've been told that the election was stolen and that the reason that it didn't get investigated was because libs were standing in the way, and we refused to investigate it. So if, let's just say, Republicans are successful and they're able to pull this off, let's say that there is election interference, Donald Trump's declared the winner, they've cheated, and we start doing lawsuits. What's MAGA going to do? Especially if those lawsuits start going through. Especially if judges start hearing those cases, because they didn't hear Trump's cases. Do you see like the setup here? You see like the potential for chaos? And then we have this situation, and this is why you hear the vitriol and the crazy shit from Trump. Let's say that happens. And let's say that we decide to stand up and we're not like, obviously we're going to go out, we're going to protest in the street, we're going to litigate. Well, Trump, we already know what Trump's willing to do with the military to shut down protesters. We know he's willing to attack the people who stand in his way. We know that he's willing to fire anybody in the government. Project 2025 is literally just a blueprint of who to fire so that nobody stands in the way of Christian nationalism. Like, we're on that precipice. I don't know how to explain this any differently. I don't know how to explain it in a way that our MAGA friends can figure this out. But we're in the middle of an attempted heist right now. They are telling you openly they are going to cheat. They're telling you openly that they are going to subvert democracy. They're telling you openly that they won't accept the results of the election. And they're telling you openly that if they do win, they're going to prosecute everybody who stood against them. Like, small fish, but there are those of us that this is our job, and we wonder, like, what happens? What happens if they get what they want? Will we be allowed to come on and criticize Donald Trump? Will we be targeted? I mean, those people, like, you go look at like Harry's size of an account. Some of these people with massive accounts, like, they're targeted, they're doxxed, they're threatened, their families are threatened, their friends are threatened. If they have jobs, their jobs are threatened all the time. We got people showing up at polls with machetes. We got people shooting up DNC headquarters. We had January 6th. Like, this escalation, I don't know where it ends, to be honest. I think that's like, I wish I could come on here and say, like, I have hope that no matter how this election turns out, we're going to be okay. I think it's the first time in my life that I don't feel that way. I don't feel like everything's okay if Kamala wins. I don't think everything's okay if Trump wins. Now, I think that we have more protection as a country. We can protect our democracy if Kamala wins, but I don't think it's going to stop attacks. I really don't. Like, I think people need to be vigilant. I think people need to prepare for some violence, prepare for some craziness. Because you see these people just being told to take off a hat going into a polling place. Like, they're willing to fight over taking off a hat. What do you think they're going to do when they find out their guy lost? And when their guy comes out and says that it was stolen and that it was all these illegal immigrants that came in and voted, and that we have all these hundreds of thousands of instances of voter fraud. By the way, Lancaster County in Pennsylvania, they have found that many of these ballots were signed by what looks like the same person, Amish country in Pennsylvania. We see that there's mass manipulation of the voting system in Pennsylvania. Now, all signs point to Trump. All signs point to MAGA. I'm trying to remember. You guys remember the guy's name that was in charge of running it up there? He has long hair. Does anybody have his name? I could look it up if not. I'll look it up. Let's go to Trump. Does anybody have that name? Scott P. Yeah, Scott Pressler. Thank you. Scott Pressler. Scott Pressler, it seems it's pretty obvious that he's behind this. He was assigned to Pennsylvania. He was making videos about Lancaster County. He was making videos about Amish country. That's what Scott Pressler's been doing. And then all of a sudden this was unnerved. And the crazy thing is, Trump's tweeting about it like it's Democrats. He's like, look at this shit that's happening in Lancaster County. Must be the Democrats. It's them. Even the stuff that they do, they just pretend it's us. I don't, like, maybe it's just been a long week. I don't really know what happens on Tuesday. I'm nervous about Tuesday. I'm nervous about Wednesday. I'm nervous about every day up until January 6th. I'm nervous for every single one of those days. Keep going here.
It'll stop them from being able to certify statewide results, or at
Sorry. And now after that, Bree says, quick favor, can you whisper, good girl, for me? Also, we're trying very hard here in Georgia. Thank you, Bree. Keep fighting in Georgia. But maybe don't fight like they're fighting with that dude.
at least delay the certification of statewide results. And that will have two effects. Number one, it will serve as propaganda, right? It will serve as sort of smoke to tell the public that there must be something wrong in the election, so the election results must be suspect and maybe emergency measures of some kind are going to be necessary. But secondly, it prevents the normal counting of votes, which prevents the normal allocation of electors in the Electoral College, which is how we get a president, right? It stops that process, which then does what to the process? It throws it into the courts, maybe.
Where'd the video go?
Throws it into Congress to decide, maybe.
Sorry, guys.
Republicans may like both of their chances in both of those places better than they like their chances with voters.
Where are they? Thank you. What a job. Thank you. Thank you.
Since Trump lost that election and then said it was all fraudulent and tried to...
Guys, I'm trying to talk about the election. You guys get it together. I'm trying to tell you, we're trying to talk about Georgia overthrowing democracy. And we're just talking about snail trails in the chat. What is going on? This chat needs a cold shower. Let me rewind. Sorry, I got distracted.
Chances with voters.
Where are they? Thank you. What a job. Thank you.
My Arnold Palmer is crying.
Thank you.
Since Trump lost that election and then said it was all fraudulent and tried to have it all overturned on the basis of those bogus fraud claims, Republican officials are often refusing to certify or delaying the certification of election results. They've done it more than 25 times in Nevada and in Pennsylvania.
And 0 times has there been fraud. 0 for 25, still going with it.
And in New Mexico and in Michigan and in North Carolina and in Georgia. The list goes on and on. And they're not doing it because there's something wrong that they know of in these elections. They're doing it to show that they're not going to certify election results anymore. Because they, as election deniers and Trump superfans, have gotten a hold of this part of the technocratic process of conducting elections in our country.
All right. How many times in a red county? Yeah, probably always. I didn't hear that. Please repeat. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what didn't get heard. I don't know what needs to be repeated. But I do know that Tracy has entered the chat, so that's great. Tracy says, what did Tracy say to Jay? Want to see if it fits? I assume you were taking me shopping. Oh, Bree's back. One more time, please. Jeez. Good girl. There you go. This is the worst day of my life. This is horrific. Thank you. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? Fuck. Hold on. Let me yell at my dogs real fast. They are getting after it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where we go from here. This will lighten it up. Who sent this to me? I think Cam sent this to me. Sorry if it wasn't Cam that sent this to me, but somebody tagged me on this on Twitter. Shit. Wait, what? All right, let me find it. That's the wrong one. Yeah. Have you guys seen this? So these Trump statues keep popping up everywhere. This one is in, where is this one? In Philly. Next to, I don't know what that statue is. Sorry. But behind it, you see a Trump statue there. A little smaller. And the inscription reads, "In honor of a lifetime of sexual assault, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the kitty. You can do anything. President Donald J. Trump." That's what they're putting. They're putting these Trump statues around. There was another one. Let's see. Here's the other one. This was in, I don't know where that is. Is that Philadelphia? Where's this? PDX. Is that Portland? Is PDX Portland? Is that Portland? There we go. I don't think it's that cam. I think a different Cameron. Or maybe it's the same cam. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's Portland. Same one. Oh my God. I didn't notice. I didn't notice this. All right. I didn't notice this before. I just... We're going to zoom way in. Just look at Trump's hand. Can you guys see his hand? I'm pretty sure that's the shocker. I'm pretty sure Trump's hand is in the shocker. Maybe he's just a big ASU fan. I don't know. I didn't notice that before. That's the first time I noticed it. That is horrific. That is absolutely horrific. All right. Oh, now we can't see the prompt. Let me make it a little smaller. There we go. Where is MAGA today? MAGA take the day off? Where's it? Is the bot farm not going this morning? What happened to the bot farm that was going this morning? How was Jones's live or Dougie's live this morning? Did they have a bunch of crazies? Every swing state needs multiple of these. Yeah. I think next election we need to collectively get together and crowdfund some signs. I think we need to do that. I think we could do a great job. Gabriel, thank you very much for that donation on PayPal. And it said that good girl got me rock hard, Daddy J. Great. That's great. I'm very happy for you, Gabriel. Lou says, chat, chill, chat. Thank you, Lou. I need Jeff today. Bev says, remember Biden will be in charge in January. Yeah, but I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? It's not like I don't think Biden's going to step in and fight against the courts. Doug says, remember, Jay, $20 is $20. Send a donation at $20. Sal says, call me Jesus because I just came. Terrific. Sorry to our Christian friends who are here. Sorry. I'm so sorry. You'll never silence the good girls or the bad ones. All right. How do I segue? Here's Bob Woodward talking about General Milley the other day. Sorry, I've lost all setups. You guys have completely, you've completely frazzled. Is that the right word? Frazzled me? I'm frazzled. It's been a long time since I've been this frazzled, but you win. You guys win today. So I don't have good setups. I'm just going to show you the clips.
We've heard in the past days from many of Donald Trump's former generals.
We did hit
Kelly
the gift
spoke
goal.
out recently.
You're still welcome to send stuff, but thank you guys so much.
To my dear friend, General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
One of the most respected people
universally respected
in the military ever.
One of the most decent men I've ever known. And he described Trump as a fascist to the core, the most dangerous person in the country, and added, you've got to stop him. In your 50-plus years of reporting, have you ever experienced something like that from a four-star
Travis
general?
says, Daddy, chill.
I have not.
Wow.
Thanks, Travis.
And I mean, that shook me. Yeah. Because he stopped me and we said, we've got to talk. Yeah. And I tell you, Donald Trump is the most dangerous person ever. A fascist to the core. Mm-hmm. Wow. And then he supported it with his views. And something to think about when you have somebody like Milley make this declaration. And then you look at the long list. Sorry, this is boring. Of former Trump aides, cabinet officers publicly said Trump should not be president and shouldn't even be on the ballot.
Isn't it crazy that legitimately, like an American hero, a true American hero, somebody who shows like the value of the free press and how the free press is critical to democracy, Bob Woodward has become an American nightmare for MAGA. Like they hate him. They think he's a traitor. Like that's what's crazy. Like Trump, the amount of stuff that Trump has destroyed is great. Like Bob Woodward, when he was running in 2016, what do you think most Americans would say if I said by the end of Trump's first term, Bob Woodward will be hated by half of the voting population? Yeah, Andy is a lifelong Republican. The people that they have turned, like you got Bob Woodward, you've got John McCain, I mean Obama, all of our generals, our military just in general. The amount of people on the trash heap to MAGA, like MAGA has thrown everybody aside to call it like deep state, when all they're doing is just reporting on Trump. Tracy says, what do you call a Mormon who likes to smoke, drink, swear, and have sex with strangers? An oxymormon. That's pretty good, actually. I like that one. Most call us what is it? Jack Mormon. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where Jack Mormon comes from, now that I think about it. I think that was it. What the hell? Oh, that's from, sorry. I thought that was a message. That was from, tomorrow morning I'm doing a podcast. So that's a good reminder. I'm doing a podcast with, shit, what are they even called now? Jen, what's their podcast called again? Is it like Democracy Matters? Or no, something Branding Democrats. I'm doing a podcast tomorrow morning called Branding Democrats. So that'll be out later tomorrow. I'm recording before we go live tomorrow. Branding Dem. We'll see. Maybe we won't have a show tomorrow. Tomorrow, it depends on how Halloween goes. In my ward, that was called The First Counselor.
Right.
No. We have a democracy. He should be on the ballot if people want him there. But former Vice President Pence, former Secretary of Defense Mark Esper say he should not be president.
But isn't he a convicted felon, Bob?
Yes, I know.
So how come he's on the ballot?
These are the people who worked with him to protect our national security, which is a president's job number one. All of these people, Defense Secretary Mattis, former Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coates, former Chief of Staff, John Kelly. It's
only an hour show, Bob.
You know,
the list is getting longer and longer.
But if you're hiring somebody to take care of your children, what do you call references? And if you said no, don't let these people.
I liked that analogy. Like, imagine if this was a job interview and you're like, do you have references? And you're like, yeah. And you called all the references, and every one of them's like, don't fucking do it. Do not fucking do it. Don't do it. This guy, he will ruin your entire company. Everything will fall apart. He will try and destroy it. And then you're like, you know what though? I think they all just hate him. They're all just haters. They all just they don't like that he's up for this job, so they're all lying. Yeah, it is a job interview. And yet Republicans don't care. Republicans are just like, we just want to win. And so we don't care that we have the most flawed candidate of all time. I think that's all I actually have today. We got through it. Sorry. I was up all night. I threw together what I could. I think that's all I have. Is there anything? Look, if there's stories you guys want me to cover, I can find them and cover it. No, we'll do friendlies tomorrow. I'm exhausted, if we're being honest, so I'm fine with that. But are there stories that we didn't cover today? I'll be happy to look them up and cover them right now. Ballot explosions? Oh, some of you don't know. My neighbor's house caught on fire last night, so I was unable to sleep as there were fire trucks outside my house, and then we were trying to figure it out. Tag me on X. What did you tag me on in X? Somebody tagged me. Tony Danza tagged me to go get a dog, which broke my heart. Just a dog that was surrendered to the I don't know who it is. The Desert Dog Project. That was devastating. I don't see anything else that I was tagged in. I don't know. Chris Susie predictions. Who's Chris Susie? Swoozy? Chris Swoozy? I don't know who that is. I see C Boozy. Nicky Jam. There's no W. Elon's case. Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do Elon Musk canvassers. Thank you. Why didn't I have that story on here? It's a long night, that's why. All right, so this was I think Wired had it. I don't know if somebody else had this article as well. Oh shit. Do I have to pay for this? How do I make this thing go away? Go away. Let's see if I can find another version of it. Let's see on Colorado Times. Will they make me? All right, there we go. This is from Colorado Pulse. I don't know who that is. Thank you. Yeah, I am slacking. I apologize. We wrote over a week ago about a brewing scandal inside gazillionaire Donald Trump supporters. That's weird. Elon Musk's America PAC operation, which has taken over responsibility for field campaign efforts for the Trump campaign in a number of key states. An investigation was done by the UK Guardian, revealed that a large percentage of the campaign's recorded voter contacts as logged through an app on the canvasser's phone could have been faked. We covered that last week. But in a shocking report yesterday, Jack LaHoot faces Blitz canvassing faces allegations far worse than cheating Elon Musk out of a few dollars for fake door knocks. Canvassers hired by Blitz to work on the America PAC field campaign allege illegal and unsafe working conditions and absurdly high quotas backed by threats to strand workers thousands of miles from home if they didn't meet them. I don't know if you guys know this, like when you do canvassing, like when I was in Iowa, my job, like I oversaw a team, but not one of the canvassers that was with me was from Iowa. All of them, I think most of them were from Las Vegas and Salt Lake City, and we flew in, and then they were all there for between 2 weeks and 4 weeks, and they were doing canvassing. So we had hotels for them. It's an operation, like it's a great way to make money if you have canvas teams. If you want to build a business that way, it's a great way. But in Michigan, canvassers and paid door knockers for the former president, contracted by the firm that was associated with America PAC, have been subjected to poor working conditions. A number of them have been driven around in the back of a seatless U-Haul van, according to video obtained by Wire, and threatened that their lodging at a local motel wouldn't be paid for if they didn't meet canvassing quotas. One door knocker alleges that they didn't even know they were signing up for anything having to do with Musk or Trump. The contract these door knockers signed with Blitz Canvassing, which is a subcontractor of Musk's America PAC, says they are expected to maintain a 17 to 22% engagement rate during the campaign, which is a high target relative to the number of people who typically open their door for a stranger. Yeah, that's high. 17 to 22% engagement. As somebody who not only canvassed, but also sold door-to-door and also sold Jesus door-to-door, 17 to 22% engagement rate is goddamn near impossible. Especially now. Probably easier 20 years ago. Now, a lot tougher. A group of out-of-state America PAC canvassers were told during a recent team meeting that if they didn't hit their targets, which the door knockers says were more than 1,000 a week on total doors knocked, the organization would stop paying for their motel rooms. Blitz Canvassing, which had received more than $9 million from America PAC, did not immediately reply to a request for comment. The story describes campaign workers being flown into the swing state of Michigan, then put to work under threat that their hotel rooms and return flights wouldn't be paid for if they didn't meet very high performance targets. Instead of renting actual passenger vehicles with seats and seatbelts, the canvassers were reportedly driven around in U-Haul vans. I had a van when I did this with seatbelts, so Mitt Romney's team was better. An alleged human trafficking operation. Oh, okay, this is different. Wait, what? Oh, it's the same? An alleged human trafficking operation run by a former candidate for Colorado governor who has directed Republican campaigns in Colorado for over a decade. Blitz canvassing has done field work for Republican candidates in 2024 for Ron DeSantis and to Jeff Crank in the Colorado 5 race. Blitz also helped Democratic minor candidate Cornel West make the ballot in North Carolina. Oh, good. Oh, good. What a group. If your door happens to be knocked by America PAC canvassers in this election's final few days, instead of telling them to pound sand, you might check to see if they need help escaping an exploitative work arrangement. If they arrive in a U-Haul van, call the cops, not on the canvassers themselves, but to ensure they have safe transportation out of your neighborhood. What is it with conservatives and putting people in U-Hauls? Remember that group of LARPers from Idaho that they got pulled out of a U-Haul? They like pulled over a U-Haul and they're like, what the fuck? And then they pulled out everybody in the same costume. What was that group called? It's not the 1%ers. It's not the Proud Boys. What was that group called? It was something stupid. Patriot Front, I think. Is that right? Yeah. All right, Jen, I'll send you that link. I think it was called Patriot Front. They weren't, well, some of them were from Idaho, weren't they? I know some of them were from Utah as well. Stupid name. Why do they always have the dumbest names too? Why can't we ever have just like a normal fucking name for these groups? They all want to be superheroes so badly. All right. Any other stories we need to cover? I need to check Cash App and Venmo one more time. Haley. All right. Haley's back. Haley says, are you a trampoline? Because I want to bounce on you. I've been called a tramp before. It's not my first time. Travis says, Bob Wood, daddy chill. I can't even say Bob Woodward now. I can't even use people's names. You guys are a mess. Every one of you needs Jesus today. I'm not a big believer in Jesus, but some of you might need Jesus today. Or at the very least, a towel. Some of you need a towel and a cold shower. Did you cover the Portland ballot boxes? Yeah, we covered that. Estelle says Oklahoma school chief bills Kamala Harris $474 million for education costs, citing illegal immigration. Get the fuck out of here. What? No way. Why would they bill Kamala? Let's see what this is. Oh, it's Ryan Walters again. Ryan Walters demands $475 million from VP Kamala in reimbursement. From what years is he polling from here? Is he talking? What is their total budget? Where is he pulling this number from? Kamala Harris's fiasco at the border has led directly to an enormous financial burden on all Americans, especially Oklahomans. Oklahomans are kind, hardworking, racist folks, but their patience with being asked to foot the bill for the federal government's failure has run out. I demand Oklahoma taxpayers be reimbursed for the impact illegal. Okay, so there's no number. Like we just made up a number. Is that what happened? Jesus, Ryan Walters is a joke. Thank you for that one, Estelle. Tracy says, yo mama's so Mormon, she thinks the missionary position is a church calling. Well, fun fact, in Mormonism, having children is a calling from God, and it's probably mostly missionary. Bree says, I know your gift goal already says you came, but we can double back for more rounds. Yep. Tracy says, I'd like to play with your Patriot Front. Terrific. I can't, there's nothing, I don't have anything to say. You guys have completely broken me today. I don't know if I've ever been thrown off my game more than I've been thrown off today. You guys have made Jen the happiest human on earth. She's just mocking me relentlessly in DMs. Terrific. All right. I thought I read it. Did I miss it, Sal? Can you cover our love story? Our love story is really similar to any abusive relationship. Sal also says Sal says his nickname in college was Jack Moorman. I didn't see that one. Sorry, Sal. Ashley says, do you think Transformers get life or car insurance? Ooh, that's a good question. Do they get life insurance or car insurance? I'm going to say it's a good question. I think it's car insurance. How do you quantify the value of a Transformer life? I don't know how you do that. They're not all cars. Good point. Vehicle insurance. Are there any that aren't? Yeah, it might be life insurance. Maybe they don't get insurance. Why do you hold your eyes and poke them? What? What? Some are semis. There's some semis in this chat right now. I know that. I know there's some semis in the chat. Both at a 50% discount. Oh, do I? I don't know. Is that what I do? I just cover my face. I know it's red, and maybe I just like try and close my eyes. I don't know why I do it. I'm at full salute. Jesus, you guys. This is incredible. You guys have made Jen so happy. All right, look, I don't have any other stories to cover today. Is there anything else that we need to cover? Other than let's find somebody to raid. Let's find some of you maybe just take like a 10-minute break. Thank you, Michelle. Good show. Later. Who should we raid? Dr. Arlene? Who is Dr. Arlene? I don't know Dr. Arlene. Who is it? Pickled. We did Pickles yesterday. Is Jones live? Reggie. Well, if Jones is still live, we tried to raid him the other day and he wasn't live. Jen, will you let me know if Jones is still live? A lot of people saying yes, but this has happened before when Jones wasn't live and you guys all said yes. We just raided Adorna. That was last week. Yeah, let's raid Jones. I'll go over there with you. I'll hang out because I got another hour or so that I have before my daughter gets back. Let's go raid Jones. I'll be there with you. Everybody raid Jones. Thank you guys. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know if I should be thanking you or not, but Jen certainly thanks you guys. Somebody send me Dr. Arlene. Like, will somebody send me just her profile? Because I don't know who that is. I need to check that out. But I will be in Jones's live with you. Thank you guys. We hit the gift goal early, and a couple more days left before this election. Then we got to figure out what we're going to do. But I appreciate you guys being here on the backup account. I'll see you tomorrow morning, every morning, 9:30 a.m. to 1 Pacific Standard Time. You can catch the replays on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. And I appreciate the tags you guys are giving me on Twitter. It helps me find stories a little bit easier and get to know you guys a little bit more. Sorry in DMs if I'm not always responsive. Right now is a very overwhelming time. My time is cut short every moment. So if you have sent me DMs and I haven't responded, I'm sorry. I will try and be better. But for right now, I'm doing